don't think right now we have 32 starting caliber quarterbacks. So I think that's why there's some franchises that are in continual rebuild because they can't figure it out. It's already hard to find these people. And then when they do have a chance at drafting a quarterback, they end up drafting the incorrect one.
Of those 32 teams, how many would you say have a quarterback that they feel as though, hey, this is the quarterback of the future for us? How many would you say?
That's even slimmer. Like I said, 20 to 22 quarterbacks, maybe starting caliber. But out of those 22 teams, I think maybe 16 are saying, hey, this is my quarterback for this year and next year. And, possibly further. The rest of them are, hey, you are here because we need someone to start the position. And if you do okay and we make the playoffs, cool. We'll see. We'll give you some more, a longer leash. But, hey, man, we looking for the next one. So I'm saying it's probably out of the, like I said, 20 to 22 starting caliber quarterbacks, I'd say about 15, 16 are okay. This is your job for at least this year, next year.
My belief is this: I believe that most of these teams are not taking enough time to cultivate the talent. Right? I was having this discussion with who was I having this discussion with? People in the space. I think it was maybe Ian. And Jamal, shout out to Ian Powell, shout out to Jamal McKenzie, since I'm using their names, whatever, and some others. I was talking to them about the idea of guys being able to go early and to the NFL, right? I do believe that there is a world where guys should be able to go early. You shouldn't have to wait 3 years, although maybe coming out of high school may not be the optimal time. You shouldn't have to wait 3 years. But I also said that the quarterback position is one where we've seen, let's use Sam Darnold for an example. He went to college and then came out and went to the NFL and still was struggling at the onset of his career. And then later on in his career, after some fine tuning and some experience, some understanding, we got a quarterback now that seems like a pretty viable commodity. Yep. Why doesn't that happen more across the NFL landscape?
I feel like right now the NFL in a sense is kind of like the NBA, where they're trying to get someone to be that quarterback and they want them on the field right away, not realizing that the guys around them are going to like really affect their future. Sam Darnold was highly touted, number 3rd overall pick in that draft. Even going a week into the draft, it was looking like he could have went number 1.
Right.
He goes to the Jets, and the Jets are awful. And then he himself was awful too. He was young, so it was a perfect storm of, just garbage. He then gets a chance in Carolina, and some people say, well, it's the Panthers. He really struggled. And they didn't have much around him. I think someone like Sam Darnold had, when he went to the 49ers and was there behind Brock Purdy, and they just told him, look, you're the backup. We're not expecting much from you. We only want to see you if Brock Purdy is injured. But knowing that he didn't have the pressure of, I got to deliver. And then he was just with Kyle Shanahan and that coaching staff. And he saw success being in that locker room, being part of a team that went deep into the playoffs. I think that's what he benefited the most from. And then he finally got an opportunity with a team or a franchise that is competent. I'm not even saying great. They're just competent. The Minnesota Vikings. They have they had a decent front office personnel. They did fire that guy just this offseason. And it's funny, they fired that guy because Sam Darnold played so well for the Seattle Seahawks. He plays well with the Vikings, and they're just still kind of like, we want another year, maybe. Let's see what we can do. And they drafted J.J. McCarthy, who many of us has thought J.J. McCarthy was just not good. We thought he was just a product of, he played on a good team, He used his legs. They won the national title, so he got the stimulus for winning that, boost him up all the way to the first round, and then look, here we are.
So you're optimistic on Fernando Mendoza.
I am, because at least Tom Brady's in the building. And the signing of Kirk Cousins helps him out. Where it's not a, hey, you have to be out there. Like, you have to be out there week 1.
Right.
They were the worst team for a reason. The
star, I think you know, and everybody knows that star is very, very important to me, right? The Dallas Cowboys I'm speaking of now. When they drafted Dak Prescott, I thought nothing of it. When all of a sudden the starting quarterback goes down with a back injury, and then they trot him out onto the field, and I'm like, well, what is he going to do exactly? And it seems like I don't know how long he's been in the NFL, but it seems like 20 years. because at the onset of his career, he was, in my opinion, bad, and then he was mediocre, then he got pretty good, and now he's a freaking monster. You know what I mean? In terms of his ability to deliver football on time, on target, and he has weapons to do it. His maturation process, where he is today, how does that help the Cowboys get over the hump going forward?
Hey, this is a quick reminder to shop the Run Sports for all of your team needs. Everything that you need, from baskets to balls, all the way around. Make sure you choose the Run Sports to be your supply for all your sporting goods.
If the Cowboys defense is at least competent, this Cowboys team can be very special, because Dak has matured and progressed in his career to become a top 5 quarterback in this league, or at least be in the conversation of top 5. Last season, the 2025 season, he was a top 3 quarterback for that season. Yes, we could say Pat Mahomes had an injury. Lamar Jackson had an injury. We can definitely, and Joe Burrow, kind of had a up and down season when it comes to his performance and the team's performance. But at least last season, he was a top 3 quarterback in the league. 2 years prior, he was second in the MVP vote. Mm-hmm. And 2024 just had a rocky start, and then an injury that ended his season. If the Cowboys defense is competent, good enough, this Cowboys team can be very dangerous, because not only has Dak Prescott progressed in his mechanics and how he throws the ball, how he gets it out of his hand, he's now getting back to being mobile again. Mm-hmm. I think the fear of breaking his ankle and his leg in 2020 was definitely, always there. But this past season, there were moments where he's just like, F it. Like, I got to go. Mm-hmm. And we're seeing more of that. This team can be dangerous if he plays well.
Young guys, right, that are in the league. The Jaden Daniels, the Caleb Williams, the Drake Mays, Bo Nix, all of these guys are young starters, and all of these guys have a lot of potential to be good. Your thoughts on the young crop of quarterbacks that are getting their careers going, right? Seems like they're going to be around, at least those guys, it seems like they're going to be around for a while. What do you think about that group of guys?
Oh, man, I think those 4 guys that you named, I think they're all really good. They're going to be guys who are going to be in this league for a while. Bo Nix, he's good enough. I think he did benefit from a great defense and a favorable schedule in a sense. But he at least he showed up this year. So I got to give him credit for that. Jaden Daniels, I think the only thing that's going to mess him up is injuries and the franchise being the Commanders doing something stupid. I don't think he's going to struggle because of him. I think he's going to struggle because of the franchise or an injury. Because when he's played, they look phenomenal. Caleb Wilson, he's living up to all the things that he was expected to do so far. as a young quarterback. He was expected to turn his franchise around. The Chicago Bears look competent right now.
Right.
He's bringing excitement. He has all the arm talent. He's living up to the hype. And you said it was a fourth quarter. What was the fourth quarterback? Drake May, the guy who just played in the Super Bowl. He is actually better than I thought. I didn't really watch him much at North Carolina, so he was a big unknown to me. And last year, they did something. The Patriots did something, or the previous year, they did something that we discussed earlier. They let him sit behind Jacoby Brissett for a few weeks, put him out there, and he looked okay his rookie year. Last year, benefited from a weak schedule, but we got to give him credit. Took advantage of the weak schedule. Won some big games, especially a big game on the road against the Buffalo Bills. Had a big win against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers also on the road, and then got to the Super Bowl. Yeah, they got beat. They got blown out. But they're a young team, and he looks really good, and he should definitely be the future of this, one of the future greats of this league.
Can Patrick Mahomes get back to being Patrick Mahomes?
Yes. I think once he is healthy, I think he'll be right back to Patrick Mahomes. Mahomes is that good as a quarterback. He's that good, number one. Also, he's getting his offensive coordinator back, Eric Bieniemy. I don't think it's a coincidence. It's just so wild saying this. They lost Eric Bieniemy, and they went to 2 more Super Bowls and won 1. But even in those years, us football fans were like, "Yeah, that ain't the same Kansas City team that was a few years prior." I think Bieniemy coming back, being the offensive coordinator, is going to help that offense.
Shedeur Sanders. I don't know that we've ever seen a story play out like this one. I don't know if there's ever been a situation where we've seen a father who is considered, or maybe we have, a father that's considered to be a top top 2 or 3 player in
all time.
Of all time. I have a son that plays the same sport at the QB position. The dad coaches him all the way up at every stop other than the pro level, even taking, different jobs. Shout out to Colorado and Jackson State. Let me not leave them out, because Jackson State, I think, was a big part of their maturation as a family, ingratiating them to, or reintroducing them to the Black community in a very, very unique way. Then to have him leave and go to Colorado, I guess, was best for him, right? Or their family, or the players that were involved. What do you think about Shedeur's prospects as an NFL quarterback?
I'll say this. I've always thought he was a NFL quarterback, meaning he could stay in the league multiple years, multiple contracts. Now, I think the issue that I've had with the Shedeur rights, and they're a specific type of fan, they think he should have been day one starter. Not only day one starter, they think he should have been number 1 overall pick over Cam Ward. That's what many of his fans believe. He should have been a number 1 overall pick. And for him to fall to the 5th round, I admit I was shocked that he fell to the 5th round, but I was more shocked because I felt like a team would have just reached, because it's the quarterback position. Mm-hmm. And I think the league said, look, man, we're not sold on him, so we're definitely not reaching. The Browns end up selecting him after Dylan Gabriel, after they had already signed Kenny Pickett, and Joe Flacco was already there. And you already had Deshaun Watson, who was having basically a redshirt year. They had a bunch of quarterbacks there. The situation wasn't the greatest. However, when it comes to his talent, he isn't ultra talented. So complaining about the situation doesn't help you, because you also aren't as good as a quarterback either. So, it's not one of those things like, oh man, I had all the tools, but everything around me was the problem. No, you're part of the problem too. I think he needs to sit behind Deshaun Watson because, first of all, I think Deshaun Watson, even after coming off this injury, is still a better option at quarterback. And it seems like, at least through the Cleveland media, that seems like it's the case. And I expect Deshaun Watson to just be more aware of what to do on the football field. He's been in the league since 2017. I just expect that. There's just things he's going to see and notice that Shador is not in year 2. But I hope he takes advantage of sitting behind Deshaun, learning to be a professional quarterback, a professional NFL quarterback, and just learning how to just be an adult that stands on his own. I'm not saying that he doesn't already do that, but he does have, there's a lot of things. Deion is always around somehow, whether it's via the media, and things like that. I think there's still that Deion's there, like Deion's protecting him. And I do believe there are people in the media who are under the Sanders payroll, or the quote unquote payroll. I'm not saying they get physical money, but they're there to be the Sanders street team, and they're there to defend Shador on all sorts of things. I'm like, you all don't believe this. you said it about other guys. You said the complete opposite. Now we get the Shador, and it's like, oh, it's this, and that. No, I think Shador needs to actually use this year to really learn the quarterback position, or the NFL quarterback position. And if Deshaun really just stinks it up somehow, or he gets hurt again, then he needs to be ready to perform. Last year, I don't think he statistically had a good year. He played like a rookie. He had a couple moments where he'll have some passes where you're like, okay, cool. And then there's some passes where you're like, what are you doing? Like, like what did you see on that play to throw to that receiver? But I think a lot of the Shadorites were trying to blame Jerry Jeudy and Kevin Stefanski and all of that. And it's like, well, it's also due to you, Shador. Like, you're just not as talented, and nothing's wrong with that, man. It's just grow as a quarterback, grow as a man, and I think he'll have his shot eventually in the NFL. And then once he gets that shot, he has to take advantage of it. I think franchises are in a rush to put that quarterback out instead of just saying, hey, if he's truly not ready, let's let him grow via practice. Let him grow via, games out of hand, let's put them in. And then when we feel like they're ready, whether it's week 8 or whether it's like Patrick Mahomes in the last game of the regular season, or whether it's the very next year, that's when you get your shot. I believe when a lot of these teams feel like, if I'm drafting you this high, then you have to play right away. And I believe there's very few quarterbacks in history that should have been able to do that, like Peyton Manning in that situation, Troy Aikman. And notice both of those quarterbacks played awful their rookie years.
They did.
Troy Aikman was winless his rookie year, and Peyton Manning had a very bad record. I believe through the rookie touchdown record at the time, and like the rookie interception record, I believe at the time. So I just think quarterback is just one of those. Unless there's just no one else on the roster as a rookie, that should be the only time you should start. If not, let them actually learn the game. Like, they got to be real special for me to start right away.
I got you.